my buddy Dash for this episode of Double Take. Dave, I just said joined by Dash, but we're joined by Dash
Talking
and
in
Dave.
the third person. That's so
person.
weird.
The way you feel.
Boom, boom. Happy Wednesday, because we're giving you the hump pumps. Because it is hump day. Happy tinfoil hat day, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode where we just roll right into it. If you get some back office context, you'll know. But here to join me is hump day extraordinaire, Dave. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. I mean, I thought you were talking about Dave Elatok here because he's coming in hot with a comment saying, my head is exploding from dumb Brady versus Mahomes GOAT conversations. Can't wait to add some absolutely level-headed and non-tinfoily UVA content. And on that note, I'm doing excellent. Thank you very much. And I hope everyone is ready for another tinfoil. What is it? Tinfoily UVA content. We're in for tinfoily UVA content tonight.
Sounds shenanigan-y.
Guys, right from the get-go, the thumbnail, 100% made by artificial intelligence.
That was actually hilarious. I thought it was great. I honestly thought that because I saw it and I'm like looking, I'm like, what the fuck? That's actually funny. The Toro one you had was just as funny too. That one's on Discord.
I made a few.
Yeah, you got very creative. I mean, it's actually kind of funny. It falls into the whole premise of what we're doing here.
Layers, right? There's layers.
Look, in regards to the Brady Mahomes thing, like Brady beat him in the playoffs every single fucking time. Like, move on. Like, I swear to God, like they're called Mahomosexuals at this point. Mahomosexuals, pretty much. It's like, seriously, guys, Pat Mahomes lost to Brady. Brady threw a 40 burger on him in the Super Bowl. Can we like move on from that? Like, I don't understand how that's a thing. Like that to me just baffles me how people are like, Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes. It's like LeBron and Jordan. Like.
But Mahomes has the nicest hair. I think that conversation is figured out, right?
Mahomes needs to focus on getting his dad out of jail, man. Dude got arrested.
I didn't even know that part of it. So he's the head and shoulders guy, though, right?
No, that's Troy Polamalu.
Oh,
do I? State Farm insurance guy.
Oh, I got him mixed up. All right,
yeah,
my bad. I got the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Don't follow very closely, obviously.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But we do have some fun stuff we'll talk about today. Pogba potentially coming back.
Yes.
We'll talk about is Dean Huijsen the future
of Roma?
Juve.
Because I hear the Roma fans kind of
I hear I wonder how they're going to get money for that, but okay, sure. We'll make fun of Alex Sheffrin because when is there not a time to make fun of Mr. Sheffrin? Yeah, Mahomes should train his man.
I gotta look this guy up. Make sure I got the right picture here.
He wants to visualize Mahobies.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's the guy. I thought he was in the shampoo commercial.
No, that's Troy Polamalu.
Troy Palomino? Palomalo,
not Palomalo.
That guy.
That guy.
Okay.
That's your Head and Shoulders guy.
The Steelers? Oh, he's a Steeler. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Gotcha. All right. Well caught up on the NFL. Perfect for going into the Super Bowl weekend where Team Taylor Swift will be the champions.
You just probably pissed off half of the internet for that. I'm all here for it because it is totally funny. We'll talk about some Tony Cruz because that has been brought up as speculation. Dave is probably gonna. Oh, the other thing too. There is, and obviously, take it for a grain of salt, guys. It's UAFC, but I think it's good content. There's two things.
You didn't know it was, though? You didn't know.
No, this one's a different one.
Different. Okay.
I didn't know about the other one, but this one I know. So we're going to talk about an alleged spat between Dusan and Weah in the locker room after the match, and I can guarantee you it's bullshit, but tinfoil hat. We'll cover it. And then also we'll touch on there is a swap. I think it's from goal.com. Swap Holland for Vlahovic. Dusan will drop 50. And then the final article, which I think we'll open with on this one. So this is one that I posted just because I think Vlad and I were talking about it. Allegri, Motta. We'll talk about Thiago Motta. I'm going to probably do a tactical video. I'll probably recruit Misak for that as well, because I think a lot of people are in for a rude awakening as far as his approach to the game
How
that a lot
it's
of people
like
don't
not
understand.
super exciting.
It's not that it's not super exciting. It's just very pragmatic.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's a bit more of the same. It might be a refresh, like a
It's
new approach to that thing, but it's still within that like idea.
So there's a
realm.
video, and I have it on my other computer because I was watching it at lunchtime at work today. It was talking about Thiago Motta's coaching philosophy, and it's just he's a hybrid of Gasparini because he played at Genoa with Gasparini at the time. Him and Diego Milito played prior to their transfer to Inter, and like he has a hybrid of Gasparini and and Mourinho. It's like he's got like the ugly stepchild that no one talks about. Yeah, but his pragmatic approach might, as much people are saying offensive style, coach offensive style, or I call them football hippies. Those guys, the ones that are cheering for him, might not be too happy with what they see. But we'll find, and I'll pull that article up. The
I
reason,
just saw another one here from Dave about Chefrin.
yeah, that's what I mentioned. I was
Yeah,
like, we're
no,
talking
I
about
didn't.
Sheffrin.
I missed that. I'm excited. Like now that I see it, and I have
Yeah,
it.
now you get to react to it first
Yeah,
time.
it's like I just like opened up the tinfoil thing as you were speaking. I'm like, dude, this one's good.
Yeah, it's a juicy one. It's a good one. So let's talk with some Mota and some Allegri first. We'll kick it up just because it's a little bit of fresh. It's fresh,
You
and a
can
lot of
blue
people
ball
are
me a
talking
little
about
bit.
it.
Jeez, okay,
I
fine.
need blue ball you. Why not? All right, so let's kick this off. So tweeted by IFTV, I believe yesterday or earlier on. So why is this zoomed in so much?
Oh,
Like
easy there, bud.
I don't. Maybe I'm just assuming that people are old and can't see. All right. So Thiago Motta's agent says there is no way in hell that he coaches Napoli next season. He definitely won't go to Napoli. He won't even sign for them if ADL brought Xerxes and Califori
That's
or
awesome.
cauliflower. He has some other projects in the future. So Motta's agent is what told Radio Kiss Kiss, and I always find Radio Kiss Kiss just absolutely hysterical because who the hell names their radio show Radio Kiss Kiss?
Well, it's like all those channels, like the American ones, like Kiss, whatever, like all the classic rock stuff. Because American channels start with K, right? So that channel got KISS. The classic rock is just like a classic rock thing.
Just like Kinks, like the jewelry store. Every kiss begins with K. All right, so now we'll go on to this article here, which will follow up. And the reason why I'm talking about Motta is because Juve and Milan allegedly have started contacts, Gentili underground contacts. Again, take it as a grain of salt. The reason is, and again, UVFC, take it as a grain of salt here. This is what pissed me off, and I didn't know this, but Dave told me, yeah, it's by those guys, and I was like, so and then I
It's like
googled.
right underneath.
I know. I googled it.
I'm
so
such a skeptic. I'm just like immediately, who wrote this shit?
Dave read the title and he's like garbage. So I googled it. There's 7 different news articles all tying to the same freaking article written by those guys, and I'm like, are these guys just paying all these outlets here? Share my story. Share my story. Share my story.
Yeah,
share my story.
they're just jerking themselves off at this point.
That is absolutely hilarious.
What other just Juve, English speaking Juve news website is there other than UVFC that's solely dedicated to Juve?
Yeah, that's true.
That's it. Like you see Semper Inter, because they're only really big Inter one, but at least Roma, there's a couple now. There's like Chiesa di Totti, and then Roma Press just there's a new one on the scene. So there's a couple there. But like for being such a big club, and like you look in the YouTube space, and there's 5 of us now, 5 channels doing this, a couple podcasts, but like it's out there. But when it comes to this format, all there is UVFC, and they're just like pumping themselves up. So they're getting into all of these, in this case, wherever the hell Yard Barker is. But you see them a lot on One Football.
Sounds
for
like
instance.
a porno website.
Yeah, who the fuck knows who these guys are?
All right. So let's kick it off here. So Italian journalist weighs in on Allegri's future. Giuntoli wants to keep him at Juventus. Juventus football director Cristiano Giuntoli reportedly wishes to maintain Allegri's services. The manager's job was under great scrutiny last season, managed to survive the storm and preserve his post. After the arrival of the former Napoli sporting director, some speculated that he'll make some changes to the Contanasa, beginning with the coach. Nevertheless, Ciro Venataro claims the opposite. He believes that the new director will likely move forward with Allegri at the helm of the squad. Sorry, Allegri out, folks. You're about to be heartbroken here. The 56-year-old's contract is valid to 2025, so the two parties will probably have to find an agreement over a renewal, as the manager would not want, I believe sporting director here, would not want, and Allegri don't want to start the next campaign on an expiring deal. Though he might have to accept lower wages. On Sunday, Allegri said that he does not intend to remain out of contract. Juve have listened to us, and during the last week, there will be a conversation between Allegri and Giuntoli. Giuntoli gave the coach his availability to rediscuss the contract expiring in 2025 to extend it. Obviously, given the economic difficulties, the price will be different. Remember, Allegri earns 7 net plus bonuses, so it's obvious that he'll have to scale it back a little bit. Giuntoli wants to move forward with Allegri and is willing to extend his contract, concluded the journalist. Thanks for giving me absolutely nothing here. The idea here is they do not want Allegri on an expiring contract next season. So it's going to be one of those things. It's like, with Chiesa, right? Either we find a renewal or you just are gone, right? So this is what I think is going to be the situation. I would be shocked unless Allegri himself says, I'm done, I'm out, I'm retiring. But I don't see them cutting him unless like Allegri just outprices himself, which I doubt that he does again. However, this summer or May per se is going to be kind of not detrimental, but very decisive because
Determinantal?
detrimental,
But determining. You're
determining,
saying yeah,
decisive.
that's probably the better word to use.
Yeah, I would say decisive. Yes.
Okay, let's roll with it.
So, in regards to Allegri coaching, because some folks are like, yeah, his contract expires in 2025. Yeah, we understand that, but they don't want him on an expiring contract. They're not like they're essentially it's going to be this summer. Whether he moves or not is this summer. It's not next summer, unless they sign him to a 1-year extension. That would be it, really, if that's the case. However, with that being said, with the links to Thiago Motta, I very, very much so implore a lot of folks to really study how he plays. Because yes, I was reading some stuff on social media, and they're like, "Look at this 4-3-3." He plays a defensive 4-3-3, folks. It has a holding midfielder as
but it's not a 3-5-2.
No, it's the same thing in a sense. The
No,
only
I
difference
know.
is you're moving. It's kind of because, like, for example, he still runs the 2-7-2 philosophy. It's just not vertical; it's horizontal as far as player occupation. So, I'm not knocking it, right? I'm not knocking the tactic. I'm just saying,
Wouldn't that mean then that might be a profile, if anybody, that Juve would actually seriously look at?
it could be. As far as pragmatism, I think he fits the bill.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there's parallels there, right, between him and Max, and I think Motta at this point might be like the smallest leap of faith of any of the options.
It for sure. It's not going to require a big change per se as far as how they do things. So this was something that I saw, and I'll share my screen for you guys so you can see this. So this was an article that I only read it like 2 or 3 times through, so I don't have it memorized entirely yet. So I can't I don't want to make too much of my arguments off of this, but from medium.com, Thiago Motta, the value of the ball. And so it kind of, and I recommend you guys yourselves to read this and do your due diligence, but it kind of gives you a background on who he is and what he does and kind of where his value of the ball, because that's what his thesis was, his master thesis when he got his coaching badges. So it kind of goes in depth here, and I'm not going to read all of this, but it's a lot. So in regards to his 2-7-2, it's a vertical. Essentially, it's a left to right, because everybody used to make fun of that formation when he first started at Genoa. But what he has is he has 2 players that occupy this zone. 7 occupy the middle, and 2 occupy the further zone there. So when you're looking at it from the tactical sense, this is kind of like an on-field view of how it lines up. But his play is very, very dependent. And it says here, so Marko Arnautovic, but now it's Xerxes, that player is very key to what they do because they operate with inverted wingers on both sides. They have a right-footed left winger, a left-footed right winger. So, in theory, this would be Sule and Chiesa, so they would fit in. And the reason why I'm kind of talking about Mota is because it seems like very, very plug and play. And so what it is you need that main nine to essentially be a killer ball as far as getting passes or playing low percentage passes. I bet on FanDuel that Juve would get at least 2 shots on goal. That's why you jinxed it. Thanks.
Don't listen. I can give you the hotlines for the gambling, but I'm not going to help you here.
Yeah. So kind of talking about how the 9 comes in deep. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that Dusan will have to adapt to in order to fit well, but I think he could do it. So you can be super attacking in a 3-5-2 and defensive in a 4-3-3. So this is kind of like the defensive midfield that he runs for his 3 in the middle.
Guys, it's easy. It's easy. I looked it up for the Chicago area and specifically, but there it is. 1-800 Gambler. Just call that number.
That's so funny. Yeah, and these are the teams that he's essentially being compared to as far as pragmatism. So there we go. Boom. Stefano Pioli and Max Allegri. So I'm not knocking him, right? I'm not saying he's a bad coach at all, but I'm saying
I think what you're saying is like, chill out. He's
Chill
not as
out.
exciting. You're like, Allegri out, and then we get Mata, and it's like,
well, I mean, like if you look at, like for example, this is kind of how he plays, right? So these guys operate on the wing by themselves. Your middle players do not go out on the wing at all. These stay in the center, and essentially what they do is they jam pack the center and allow the wingers to do their own thing on the wings. And it's kind of like what German Dave says here. So I know every Italian addiction recovery center helps you once every 6 months.
I think he's talking about the Fajoli situation.
But that's really kind of what he plays as. There's YouTube videos on his tactics. I really recommend that you spend some time looking at it, but it is a very, very pragmatical approach. I mean, I believe Misak also mentioned it in a discussion where Bologna only I believe it's 1.5 expected goals per game. So offensively, they're not known for being anything crazy. So very, very good stuff here. Like, for example, again, box-to-box midfielders, inverted winger support, cross less often. So they
No Kostic.
Yeah, Kostic is essentially going to be at the soup kitchen. But with the Mota system, it's inverted wing play, so you're not crossing. You're coming in, you're cutting in, and you're taking shots.
I personally like that style.
Yeah, it's right. And then, for example, taking more risks, you need to have at least one midfielder in the 3 to play these low percentage vertical passes. So you need one playmaker, a la Fajoli, something like that, right? Halfback, take fewer risks, so your wing backs or your full backs are going to be a little bit more conserved. Or halfback. He has a halfback classified as a defensive, the CDM here. So it's going to be Locatelli here that has to adopt a patient, sensible passing approach. So really recommend it. It's by the medium. I recommend you read that just so you kind of give yourself a little bit of what Mota is. What do you think of a guy like Ruben Amorim from Sporting?
Have you watched them at all?
Not too much, a little bit.
Because I've been listening. I caught a few All Things Avalad, their podcast, their YouTube channel there. We've had them on last year when we were playing them. From what I understand, they're doing pretty good this year. Just checking the standings. They are in second, 2 points back, with a game in hand. So, yeah, up against Benfica. So doing pretty well. From just hearing from the Portuguese league, I understand he might be pretty good, pretty decent, but I couldn't tell you.
Pull him up if you want.
Yeah, I mean, we can look at his stats,
Yeah,
but I haven't really put the eye test to him because I don't watch the Portuguese league, unfortunately. I don't even know if I can. It doesn't pop up on whatever Fubo or DAZN that I have, and I'm not buying more than those two. So.
All right, so I don't want to use Wikipedia, so I'm going to just roll with Transfer Market here. All right, share. My only concern with a non-Italian coach is going to be one of those issues, right, for Juve. I just see Juve struggling very hard to get someone that's not Italian. Like, it's only done.
Well, Motta's not Italian.
He's adopted Italian. He has an Italian citizenship.
Okay, sure, all right.
It checks the bar. It checks the box. Look, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it, but so let's see if we look at his coaching history. Oh wow, his
You want to
transfer history.
go back? People wants to go back to the Inter game. No, Locatelli
Can we move
wasn't.
on? Yeah,
It
can we move
was.
on?
It was. I'm gonna say Tech and Bremer, one of those two.
Can we move on from that?
Yeah, we moved on. We're
You know,
talking
if
about.
you want that, like, look, watch Bepe's video on balance. He broke down that game and everybody whining about it. Like he broke down all the arguments of that game. Perfect.
If you really want to learn about balance, I recommend some yoga.
That too.
It's really good for your inner soul and your outer soul. Your yin and your yang. See, it's all about balance, guys.
I Ruben seems like it would make sense because he runs a 3-4-3. However, my only thing is I don't see Juve hiring a non-Italian coach. That would be probably the biggest.
I think it's about time they explore, and I think the management isn't so like hyper focused on keeping.
It's the best they'll give you is Motta. I guarantee you, the best non-Italian they'll give you is Motta.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly because they talk about the Italian core, but at the same time, Gintoli has shown that it doesn't really matter if you show up to play. You're the guy that's getting the minutes, right? So
Well, I mean coaching, not minutes, right?
yeah,
But
yeah. And with coaching, does that extend into that? In that it doesn't really matter who you are, where you come from, any of that jazz. It's like, will you come and perform and do what we want you to do? I think that's first and foremost. And is it at a reasonable cost? He's looking at a business sense. He's not looking like this guy's from Naples, so no, fuck him. Which I mean is fair. But he's probably looking at things a little more objectively. Sorry.
yeah, possibly right, but I don't know. I very, very much have a very big skepticism when it comes to it. Right, we'll see when we get there. And obviously, by all means, guys, this isn't a calling for Allegri to get sacked. This isn't.
No,
not
I'm
that
still.
kind of
I'm still
like,
extend if he agrees.
yeah, like I am not. This isn't that. And like for example, even Beppe like mentioned it great. Like, holy hell, man! Like the amount of hate that Gatti got, the amount of hate that Dusan got, that Allegri got, like it was insane. It was just purely insane. Like
Children,
even
bunch of
it's
children.
still going on now.
Yeah, I know.
And
They're a
it's
bunch
just
of children.
I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, oh, Gatti cost us 2 games. I'm like, you realize he won us like 4 of them, right? Like, that's like are we serious here now? But
No, these.
I think
I don't know why you do this to yourself. I don't even look at any of that.
I got to know what's going on.
That's not what's going on.
Rather have a holistic show instead of just
I rather
half-assing it.
I rather Jeff send me nonsense in the Discord and vibe off that shit than doom scroll off Twitter and hate my life.
But like, I don't know. Like I want people to understand that. Look, like we didn't get tactically outclassed or like a masterclass by Inzaghi. Like we didn't execute. Like if I can sit here and tell you if Dusan makes his shot, that's a different story because the game plan was play low, play smart, play tactical. You get one, try to force one ahead and force Inter to implode from the inside. That's kind of what the game plan was. Unfortunately, we didn't convert, and they converted off errors on our part. Like for example, the goal. Was the goal a tactical breakdown or was it people missing? It's people missing.
Yeah, it was individual
It
errors.
was individual errors. It was people missing. So it's like, oh my goodness, Inzaghi knew that Bremer wasn't gonna tackle Pavard on that missed scissor kick, and Inzaghi knew he strategically told Thuram, hey, go inside Gatti's insides essentially.
Listen,
It's like,
if the game was flipped, like exactly flipped, and they got an own goal and we won 1-0, I would be the first one here being like, fuck you, Inter. Allegri shitballed the motherfucker out of you, and I don't give a fuck. And I'd be like losing it. I'd be the first one to be, but we're on the other side, and man, it sucks. Whatever. It wasn't a big deal.
Stop taking polar arguments, guys. Stop.
But I mean, everyone here is telling you and are saying that except Frankie.
Only should I read
Frankie is a heathen. Let me tell you, he is into all the weird shit, especially X. He loves X because I don't know what it is, but he was close to hitting the delete button.
He was. Very, very close.
Oh, do it.
Look,
Delete it.
I'm
Come
just
on.
I'm fine with our and that's one of the things where I'm happy with the community that we have here, that people can, relax and chill and not blow shit up here. At least that's the one thing I'm very appreciative of, the people that are here and in the Discord. Like, you can sit here and say, "Oh, I think this happened." Okay, great. Why did it happen? Explain it. Like, you can have people here that you can have our conversations with, and they can articulate their claims instead of giving an opinion base without any facts behind it or anything behind it, right? Because, like, for example, if I'm sitting here and I'm debating with you, Dave, and I'm like, Dave, you'll tell me, "Oh, I think the sky is green." And I'll sit there, "Okay, Dave, why do you think the sky is green?" And you're like,
I'm
"Because it's green."
colorblind.
Because it's green.
Because I'm colorblind. I can't see shit.
So look, and that's the thing, right? Like, people got to understand, when you make a bold claim, like, for example, the sky is green. If someone asks you about it, don't get pissed. Back it up. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to be correct. The idea is, hey, this is my opinion. This is my thoughts. This is what I'm trying to articulate here. And then you try to find common ground. That's pretty much it.
Okay, guys. I'm thinking more and more merch ideas, right? Eventually my job is gonna let me take some time off, and I'm gonna do some merch ideas. We'll figure out when I actually get that time off, because a bit of a, they don't let me go, is what I'm saying. So anyways, no, merch ideas is what we want. And what, an Emperor Allegri thing? You just do like a Caesar with Allegri's face?
Good. I think
Is that a
would
thing?
make sense.
Is that a
It could.
thing? I don't know. I'm just trying to like work some
I don't know,
ideas
we
into the crowd.
We just
Get
need a
feedback.
concept. We just need a concept and a face, and I
Yeah.
can just give it to my little brother. He's got like incredible editing software. He can just draw that sucker on. He has like
If
a
I
tablet.
say just the right things, the AI can make it for me as well.
That's actually impressive.
But I have to say it just the right way.
Dave says, mate, German Dave actually has a really good idea. Allegri with a tinfoil hat.
Allegri with the tinfoil hat.
That would
Okay.
actually, that would be a fun T-shirt. Like, that actually
we
would
gotta
be
get
hilarious.
get these things back in the Discord, of course. I am gonna do the oh man, why do we suck so much? Like and subscribe to the video, and I'm getting you the link. We suck so bad.
All right, so Antonio says, would you guys be content if we got Mota? I don't have an issue with it. Am I thrilled? No. Am I upset? No. Like, I'm not going to smash chairs or anything like that. It's not like, it's not the greatest thing since Swiss cheese, but
I would be mad if we fired Allegri to get Mata.
yeah.
If Allegri left and we got Mata, I would be okay.
Yeah, I would be content. Like, for example, if Control is like, hey, we're giving you the sack. That's just kind of like, I doubt that would happen, but I don't know. Like, I don't have an issue if Allegri steps away, because I think right now the front runners for that gig would be Antonio Conte, Motta, and Italiano. Those would be your three shortlisted if Allegri were to walk away. You cannot convince me otherwise. And I would probably say the odds are Conte would be the odds-on favorite, unfortunately.
You got to throw Klopp in there too, because
they can't afford him. They can't afford him.
So I heard this is one of the best. This one, Twitter's awesome. So, somebody had brought up in one of these posts on Twitter, anyways, that he was learning Spanish. So it was like, oh, he's gonna go take the Barcelona job, blah blah blah. And one person just chimed in and is like, no, he's just learning Spanish so he knows how to deny them in their own language. Like, yes. Fuck yeah, that one nailed it.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Why would Klopp want to shoot himself? Go to Barcelona? That's just nuts. Gambaccio says, how come Zizou never wants to come coach Juve? Because I think Zizou knows that he had a fluke. I don't want to say a fluke, but he was the right person at the right time at a right moment at the right instance. And he knows that that's never going to happen again. So he's like, I've won club football. I am just going to go and focus on international footy, and I am good. Because he has not taken a single job since he's left Real Madrid.
Yeah, keeping it on a high.
I guess he's like, hey, I'm good here. I'm not going to go here and do anything like this. The only job that Zidane will ever consider at this point is France. Nothing else. Unless he knows that Juve are a couple of tweaks away from three-peating, he will not take another gig. He needs a full-blown superstar roster.
LJJ, you actually think I paid attention to X that long to actually see who wrote? It was some internet. I don't know. I was probably taking a shit at the time. Move on.
David says he needs the Warriors with Kevin Durant to win. That's so funny. That's actually really funny.
Have they not won with him?
Who? No, he's saying it's a metaphor. It's because like Kevin Durant won with the Warriors, like he needed to be a part of that super team to win NBA titles. Zizou can't come to Juve if Emperor Jeff says if Emperor Max is around. Mr. Vlad coming in says, I get what you're saying. We don't know what Zizou's gonna look like without Casemiro, Cruz, or that's my biggest thing about Zidane is like I have no idea, right? Like I have no idea what we would get with him. It's not a knock on him, right? Because he still had to coach, he still had to organize the game, right? Which is he still did. But the idea is like what happens if you don't have the prime midfield trio that they had, a Ronaldo that was bonkers, Benzema that was willing to play second fiddle to that Ronaldo.
Yeah, it was a pretty ridiculous team.
Yeah, and then you had Keylor Navas that like made some stupid, ridiculous cheat code-esque saves, and then that back line of Marcelo, Carvajal, Ramos, and then Varane. Like that's a generational team. Like that team is in the history books of just.
It's like beyond generational.
That
it's like historical. It is. Like it's just like straight up historic.
It is up there with the 09-010 Barcelona team and the 11-12 Barcelona team. That's how good that Real Madrid team was. I think that Real Madrid team is better than the 14-15 Barcelona team.
No, you want to get into an endless conversation?
I know we could, right? Ronaldo versus Messi. Let's go. I would just get everybody butthurt. So speaking of that, well, let's kind of drag it back to post Juve Inter. So let's look at this article. This article here about Ducey and Weah apparently getting into a shouting match with each other. Apparently, Dusan wanted Weah to choke him, and Weah was like, "Wait, what?" He's like, "Yeah, choke me." And he's like, "My name's not Vanya." But anyway. Any cahoots. So obviously UAFC take him as a grain of salt. So we had a so fancy. Juventus had a spat, or Vlahovic had a spat, like just a spat. So looking at this here, so Juventus striker Dusan Vlahovic endured a tough evening against Inter, and it was reportedly culminated with a bust up with Timmy Weah, which sounds ridiculously kinky. Like me and Dave had a bust up. Like what? That's like nuts and butts. Like that's just really weird.
I would think more bust ups like we threw fists.
I would say we got into fisticuffs if we wanted to be really fancy. The Serbian was visibly frustrated with the lack of service throughout the derby. The 24-year-old was isolated for most of the part while enduring rough treatment from Francesco Acerbi. Moreover, the former Fiorentina bomber had a rare opportunity to score when Weston teed it up for him, but absolutely shanked it. According to Vlahovic's forgettable evening, his evening ended in a heated argument with Timmy. Source tells it the American voices displeasure with his teammate, prompting to an angry reaction from the latter. Luckily, Federico Gatti played peacemaker, preventing the situation from escalating further.
Come on, guy. Why can't we all just be friends?
You know, the thing with Gatti that I think he did is like he probably grabbed both of them by the neck and was like getting ready to choke slam both of them.
No,
like,
I bet he is a gentle giant. He's like, come on, man.
I feel like he's super aggressive.
No. I think that he leaves that all on the pitch.
Well, because it says here, as the source explains, the matter fortunately ended then and there. So I'm pretty sure he had them both in chokeholds. I'm just saying.
There's different ways to diffuse the situation.
You see what happened to Fajoli over there in the corner after he stole money from my watch? You want to be like him? Yeah, shut the hell up.
How much is this Michael Scar just flourishing words?
Oh, it's 100%. It's the tinfoil hat show. That's the only reason why I'm saying it here.
Okay, you know what? Like, you don't even need to read this. All that fucking happened was they just lost to Inter. They're frustrated because the service wasn't there. They're in their own little, hyper focus. They still haven't come off the adrenaline, right? So they haven't looked at the bigger picture yet. They're like, these guys have got any service. You didn't do your job. Blah blah. And Gatti's like, you want to know?
You want to know what my honest response to this is? They're fucking 23-year-olds that lost an important game. Of course,
they're 23-year-old boys. Yeah,
Chill,
Mhm.
people. Like at this point, like I said, it's just people reaching for content, and that's what I find extremely irritating. Like, oh my gosh, Timmy Weah Doosan got into a splat. Like, dude, like, have you ever played a competitive sport when one of your teammates has a shit game? You're like, bro, what the fuck are you so shit for? What'd you say to me? And then Gatti kind of starts chanting, no, Gatti senpai, yamate, and then
I yell at people all the time. It's cool.
yeah,
Works out.
I
Did it
think
the other day.
I know. I love it when they yell at people. It's fucking hilarious. But like, I don't understand. Like, to me, that article kind of like from an instant reaction. It's like out of all the things you can write an article on, you wrote an article on that because why?
Because they have to pump out at least 4 articles a day.
Like what?
It's all about the amount. Just more. It doesn't matter. The algorithm has clearly picked them up and it just throws. I don't get black and white and red all over. I forgot that. I completely forgot that they were a thing. Maybe I told Google's like no more. Like you can say don't show me from that website anymore. I may have done that because I was just so pissed off with them. I don't even know what they write anymore. I literally forgot they exist until like this past week.
The only news that I am concerned about Doosan that is popping around is his adductor issue. That is the only thing I'm concerned about, and that is the only thing that I'm worried about when it comes to any article that's coming about Doosan. I don't give a damn about he choked against Inter because I said he gets a pass. There's no way that you can throw him under the bus for this game. Look at me, Mr. Not the biggest Doosan supporter, as people would like to say it.
Yeah, and you're fuck. I'm proud of you, Dash.
It's called being honest, right? Being objective. Like, what do you want? There's so many ways he could have taken that better, but at the same time, at the moment, he went for what he thought was the best call. I cannot blame a guy for that. Like, if Doosan, like, McKenny teed it up and Doosan slipped or shit himself, then it's a different conversation. But he's like, hey, let me drive in. It's buried in the corner. It didn't work. I can't fault the guy for that. Like, that to me is like, that's just me being an asshole at that point where it's just like, I'm just being nitpicky for no reason. Like I said, the same thing with Federico Gatti, man. Like, he got taken on the inside by Thuram, and then the ball hit him in the tit. Like, it's unfortunate, but that's kind of the thing you run with them. Like,
We started the show on Mahomes tits.
We did. We started with tits, and now we're going with tits.
So last show was Juve and G's, and now today's show is Man Tits.
Mahomes and titties.
Both lactate.
Well,
Milk's involved. Milk is involved. There you go. It all comes around.
The milk foil hat show. So Bone sent us this article to react to. It's about Doosan in Holland from goal.com. Are you ready, Mr. David?
Yes, this is one I did hear about. This one's kind of all over.
And apparently the website says, we got you covered.
Do you now?
Do they?
We I don't want to be covered by you.
No, you don't. All right, so swap Holland and Vlahovic. Pep Guardiola urged to ditch the Norway superstar for the Juventus H, who would score 50 goals. Brought to you by Richard Mills. Sounds like a porn star name. All right, so Manchester City have been told to swap Juventus striker Dusan Vlahovic for Erling Haaland as the Serbian can bag 50 goals a season. Gotta find out where. City told to sub. Okay, cool. Bullet points. Juventus star can score 50.
Oh, I know why. I know why he would score 50 because they're going to get relegated to the FL for FFP.
Oh man. So I think it was former Italian goalkeeper Giovanni Galli, who played for AC Milan, Fiorentina, Napoli, amongst others, feels Vlahovic offers nothing less than City star Haaland. And if he was in a more attack-minded team than the Serie A side, the 23-year-old goal-scoring feats would be stratospheric.
This I hate when it's just like an ex-player that nobody's heard of for like 12 years, and then he just tweets something like this, and goal.com picks it up. It's like,
you need to share it.
No, nobody cares, man. No,
So
who cares?
He told Tuttosport, "I have a weakness for Dusan." So apparently, translation, I have a kink. I've known him since his time. Yeah. I've known him since he was a little boy at Florence. A little boy. He's extraordinary. He has everything: determination, desire, strong sexual desire, physicality, and a lethal left foot. He's also strong with headers. Right now, he is physically fit. That didn't age well. That did not age well. From the player we saw at Fiorentina, physical problems tormented him for a year, and now he is proving to be a champion. It may sound like a provocation, but it's not. If I were Guardiola and asked to swap Dusan with Haaland, I'd do it. Dusan offers nothing less than the Norwegian. He must make most of every chance at Juventus because they don't produce as many goal-scoring opportunities as Manchester City. But Dusan has scored 12 goals anyways. I'd like to see him in a more attack-minded team. If he were at Man City, he would also score 50 per season like Haaland. I think that's a little bit of a reach. Haaland has been absolutely bonkers and been doing that for a while. The bigger picture. Well, Haaland, because apparently Haaland is kind of in a dip. So while Haaland has not been as prolific as he was last season when he scored 52 and 53, his haul of 19 this term is significantly better than Vlahovic's 12. Moreover, Haaland has scored 226 goals in 276 games, while Dusan has gotten 87 and 220.
Yeah, it's a huge difference.
It's a big difference. Very big difference.
Oh, man.
What's next? Haaland, who have been out of action for nearly 2 months due to a bone stress reaction in his foot, could feature for City. Away to Brentford. Vlahovic on the other night is likely to start against Inter Milan.
Yeah, and they won 3-1.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. But yes.
Woman won today, by the way. 1-0 at Sampdoria.
They did. They did. Your thoughts on that article?
I already forgot it. It's stupid. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, it's so dumb. Who is this guy? He clearly has a boner for Vlahovic, and I can't stand him. It's like, oh, I know this kid. He's that. Do you know Holland? Did you see Holland when he was a 12-year-old boy in Fiorentina? Weirdly, you know, like, or no. You know what I'm saying, right? Like, you clearly know this dude and you're jerking him off and you've never worked with the other dude. And it's like, oh, this guy's completely biased and stupid. And goal.com, let's be honest, is just another one of those websites that don't give a fuck and just toss it out there. Once in a while, the stuff is interesting. It's good. That one was crap. It was absolute shit. So let's move on.
That guy is an undercover Fabrizio Romano. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's very funny. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, I talk to Vlad in the Discord if you don't know what that means.
Okay, I want to... Before we move on, though, for this Chefrin thing, do I need to remove myself for 3 minutes and watch the video?
No, it's not a video. I think it's just an article.
No, it's a 3-minute video.
Oh.
So you haven't watched it either, then?
No, I have not. I wanted to go in raw.
Oh, well, it's a video. Well, maybe we both have to remove ourselves for 3 minutes.
No. Well, I think there's going to be a way. I think we'll probably, obviously, I think we'll try to like fair use it and just like play like 10, 15 minutes of the clip and then commentate on it, because that way they can't beat us for copyright because we're reacting. We're not just playing their content mindlessly. So you guys ready for a watch along?
I guess. Okay, we can do it that way.
Go.
It's going to be a little choppy, 3 minutes, but
yeah, it's going to be. So let's hear it. Let's see what they have to say.
Breaking news, our senior reporter Rob Dorset has it. What have you got, Rob?
This is significant, Mike. A number of news organisations have reported that there's a bit of a spat between the English FA and the UEFA president, Alexander Ceferin, and I've managed to...
Oh, there's a spat between Ceferin and the FA.
okay.
Oh, I wonder why.
Well, that is interesting that it's specifically the FA. So
I guess Ceferin did not stroke him off well enough.
Just stand it up with a couple of sources, and I can tell you that the FA is planning to vote against a plan by UEFA to change the rules, which would allow Alexander Ceferin to stay on as president for another term. After
okay, hold up. Did Putin not do this a couple years back? Like, this is the exact same shit as Putin, and now we're at war with the motherfucker. And I can say that because this isn't allowed to be shown in Russia because we're at war with the motherfucker.
All right.
Oh my god, okay, let's go.
Ceferin's current tenure is due to expire then, and UEFA's existing rules prevent any president from staying on for a fourth term, which is what it would be for Ceferin. He's arguing that he didn't serve a full term when he first took over. He joined in September 2016 and took over as president. So that didn't count as a full one, so he wants to have another one. But
He had one, wants another one. This is good.
Yeah, it's let's see if they bring up the fact that he's actually not. He doesn't meet the credentials to be the president in the first
I
place.
know. See if they actually look that up.
my understanding is, the FA are saying nothing publicly or privately about this, by the way, but my understanding is that this isn't anything personal against Seferin, but they think there's an important issue of governance here, that no president should be allowed
It's not an issue with Seferin. It's definitely an issue. It definitely is.
to stay on for 4 terms because it gives them undue power and too long a stay, if you like, in charge.
Rob, you say it's not personal, but isn't there a bit of history between the FA and Seferin?
Well, there is definitely
Oh, there is.
between UEFA and the English FA. Yeah, I mean, Seferin has weighed in on some matters which the FA here would think were their domain. He suggested when the FA moaned about fixture congestion, for example, Seferin suggested a couple of years ago that, well, that's a problem that England could solve if they got rid of 1 or 2 of their cup competitions. That didn't go down well. And I think there is a feeling within a number of national associations within Europe that Seferin has too much power right now. And so the
Yeah, yes, he does. He has a lot of power right now.
interesting thing here, Mike, will be to see how many other nations side with England in voting against this rule change. There's a bundle of rule changes, of which this is one, and at the moment you vote for the lot or vote for none of them, in favour or against all of them. I think the FA is going to try and push for that one to be taken out of the bundle so that they can deal with that one separately, and we'll see what happens next. But all of the FA bigwigs are in Paris right now, ready for the UEFA Congress, which starts on Thursday. So we've got Debbie Hewitt, the FA chair, we've got the chief executive, Mark Bullingham, as well. There's an awful lot of lobbying and discussions, I think, going around the national associations right now.
So, yeah.
This is when the real business is done in the corridors of power, if you like, in Paris, before they all sit around the table tomorrow. But really fascinating to see what happens next. Breaking news, important news, that we understand the English FA are prepared to vote against a UEFA plan, which would...
Also, to add on that as well, the German FA have voted against this as well, too.
And the German FA. Okay, so since we've borderline stolen these guys' content, can you at least give them a thumbs up? We appreciate them. I mean, speak decent human being. That's all I'm saying. And while we do that, could you guys do that to our video? Would be appreciated.
You dick. I knew you were going there. I kind of want to read the comments. Term limits should never be changed. The FA is right. Is it because he knows about Man City's 115 charges? They're not saying anything publicly or privately, but somehow Sky knows everything. It's proper to suspect things like this happen. I can't stand the FA, but totally agree with that statement. Here's another dreadful, corrupt football administrator. Crooks. Another Brexit. Must protect Manchester City at all costs.
This guy's a smart one, I bet.
He actually tried to get them punished. This is about going back on his own wording and enforcing term limits.
Then he's saying, of course, man, you guys, it's Man City, it's all Man City. Fuck off, man.
I swear to God, man, United fans are just really weird. Storyline here is an emotional roller coaster, taking us through laughter and introspection. Dynamic presentations. That's a bot. That's 100% a bot. So, not that many people big fan of Sheffrin.
No, of course not. Did we miss this?
No, I don't know. You showed it.
I showed it, and then I wanted to bring it back. It's Jeff with an X, or Hefe, better known as. Member for 5 months. That's about, I think, as long as they go these days. Due to election year, I'm here to endorse Emperor Max for 4 more years. Reno, you here? You listening? If you disagree with me, then you're racist. JK, you can fight me though. That's okay. If you go to a political rally in Florida, that makes a lot more sense. I don't know if it makes sense for the rest of the world, but Dash, it's awkward when he's just like, come on.
I don't know what you want me to do.
I don't know. Did I just make it awkward? I said the R word, and you're like, oh no, edit it out.
I know. I don't know. Like, I was just like, am I supposed to do something? Am I supposed to am I supposed to laugh? I was so confused. I did not get the script. I apologize.
Okay, you got awkward on me, so I called you out for it.
That's fair.
What? What word is that?
I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is.
I swear. I swear the texting on cell phones is getting worse. Like the algorithm or the AI, whatever's happening, like texting on phones is getting worse.
I just think people texting in general are getting worse. It's really lazy.
I can't hit I. I always hit 8.
Yeah?
And I use I a lot, like I am, no, it's 8 a.m.
Oh, yeah?
All the time. 8 a.m. Oh, what are you doing at 8 a.m.? Like, all the time.
Well, yeah.
So annoying.
Okay.
All right. So
Shall I get into the final article before we get to some like news tweets? It's about Deanie Boy.
yes, DD
Dean
boy.
Houston.
You know, and
Houston.
I was just about to say I was a
That's what
little
I
bit
talk about.
disappointed with the Cheffrin thing. I thought it was going to be a lot more of a
Yeah, it seems like
take.
just blue balls.
yeah, a little disappointed with that.
Fortunately, the Englishman disappeared after his article. All right,
Yeah.
so J Network 24. I've never heard of this article. I've never heard of this thing before. This news, whatever the hell this is. David says my iPad mixes German and English sometimes. If Jaco played with Doosan, that'd be spicy. That would be a spicy boy.
Where did Jacko come from? Is that you just like vibing Jacko right now?
I guess so. All right, so let's talk about some Dean. So despite the departure of Mourinho, who pushed for his arrival at Rome, Dean Huijsen is doing well under Daniele De Rossi. In fact, Monday, he scored his first goal in a Gallerossi shirt. Lupa does not seem to want to deprive himself of the Dutch talent, who arrived from Juventus in January on a dry loan till the end of the season, according to the newspaper. The club intends to attempt a coup during the summer transfer market. The conditions for sitting down and discussing seem to be a base 15 million. The class of 2005 expressed himself thus on a probable stay at the capital. He says, if I see myself under the Coliseum or the Mole for tomorrow, you don't know anything. Anything can happen in football. So everyone's like, oh my God, he wants to go to Roma. He wants to stay at Roma. Ah!
Could I just say how I hate when shitty writers do this like attempt a coup and they think they're being smart, but it's just a complete misuse of the word and you just look more
Stupid.
it doesn't sound as good. It just doesn't sound, the R word sounds so much better. I don't know why.
Yeah, but
we
weird
had to
trigger.
ban it. It makes sense because you know, like I started airbrushing. It's a new thing I'm picking up.
Can they even can they go past like 2 million in any kind of like spending? Like, do they have enough?
No, I don't think so right now. But anyways, what I was trying to say is, and this is legit, and you can say it in this context. So it's actually, this is a bit of a test to see if the algorithm wants to hate me. But if you want the paint to dry slower, you use a retarder. It's a thing, like it's a paint retarder. So, I mean, it's still a word. Why are they canceling words that are still actually used in industry? And it's ridiculous. Like, for instance, it was a common word to say, especially in the automotive. Instead of saying transmission, you would say tranny. Well, you can't say that anymore.
How dare you?
They took that away.
How dare you? You like?
And now we're like, hey, and then you just got to be like, you're just awkward. And you're just like, wrench.
We lose midstream, cuts out, gone.
So, anyways, that's my rant on words for the day. So
let's have this conversation a little bit about Dean. You guys got to get a little bit more engaged, chat. We need some more conversation here. It's just David, Bones, and Frankie carrying the conversation at this point. Dean, right? So Dean right now is proving himself to technically be a starter in Serie A. So when he comes back, that bodes an interesting question for Juve.
absolutely.
I think Juve are going to have a center back issue. And I don't mean as far as a lack of center backs. I think they are going to have an overabundance of center backs.
Not horrible, because we haven't invested a lot of money in said center backs outside of, you know, a number one starter in Bremer. I mean, he's set in stone, so you don't even, he's out of this discussion.
Technically 2 spots. And then also the alleged switch to a back 4. So instead of running 3 center backs, you're running 2 at the same time.
Yep.
That's going to be something that I'm telling you guys, like, this summer, holy shit, we have a lot of issues that we need to sort out. And it's not like bad issues where like it's catastrophe or catastrophic, but like as far as squad player surplus, because we pulled so much from next gen, it's not funny at all. Like we have,
well, it's time to cash in. There's going to be a bunch of broken hearts.
My only concern that I have with this center back abundance issue that we currently have is teams know it, so they're going to lowball you. Because, like, for example, you have a lot of supply and your demand is not really, well, I mean, you might have high demand, but you're going to see Dragosin-esque sales for certain players, and people will get butthurt about it unless you decide to say fuck it and send everybody on loan.
Yeah,
but
and that's definitely an option. Dean probably could use another loan. Like maybe Rome will take him for another year. They seem to like him, so loan him out for another year and let him really figure things out and hope the Olympico doesn't claim him.
Yeah, because Jallo, Dean, Danilo, that's 3 for one position essentially.
Jallo, I think, is going left back. I have that feeling.
He could, but
taking Sandro's
yeah.
position.
Like that's a lot in that, and then you want cauliflower as well.
Again, is that just linked if we lose Cambiasso? Now he is liked though,
I don't.
and you would need backup if you had Cambiasso and Calafiore as your two left backs. Like that's
I don't know. I
that's
don't know
not bad.
what I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say is I personally, in my opinion, I don't think Juve should be looking at any kind of defender because they've got plenty of defenders. But
Well, some could go on loan, some could get sold. Again, we didn't pay much for them.
no.
So, like, we're going to start moving. Just like midfielders, we actually have a lot. We have Sule, Bernachea.
Are they considered midfielders or wingers?
It depends on the setup, too. Like, yeah, Sule would be a winger in a 4-3-3. You have Bernachea, I think, still slots in as a midfielder. Regardless, like, you have pieces. Is he not?
So the reason why I say abundance is we have 7 technically on the payroll, like 7 center backs. If
Yeah,
you
but
were to get
so-
Calafiore as well.
But you knock off Sandro. You do that?
Yeah, you're
Okay,
at 6.
so you're still at 7.
I'm at 6.
Okay, you're at 6.
So, like for example, okay, so let's list them. Let's list them here. So you have your front 3. So it's going to be Gatti, Danilo, Bremer. So that's your front. Then you have Rugani. Then you'll have Jallo. Then you have Dean. So that's 6. Calafiore makes 7.
So
And De Winter. I think De Winter is not an obligation.
there's that. See, yeah, but I don't know. I have a feeling De Winter is getting sold or something.
Yeah, I think he's gone.
Like if
but,
Huijsen's playing first team minutes at Roma,
But that's because Vlad is saying here, Huijsen can be a backup next season. I wouldn't trust him to be a starter. But what if he's consistently starting for Roma?
that's
And
the
then
thing. I'd
also-
rather him consistently start for Roma and until he goes through puberty. And once he goes through puberty, we will take him back.
Well, and then, for example, David brought up someone that I forgot, Facundo. I'm sure
And
he'll get
Facundo.
loaned. He'll get
Yeah.
loaned, right? He'll get
Yeah.
loaned for sure. But that's is De Winter officially off the books? That's what I want to know. Is he officially off it, or is he like a loan with an obligation?
Let's see. That'd be in transfer market.
LJJ's talking about the one that we signed recently. He's going to next gen, so I'm not too worried about that one. But as far as like first team promoted players, I still think when you're running a back 3, I think 6 is a lot. I think 5 is an ideal number. I think 6 is going to be a lot because Bremer barely sits, like rarely sits. The ones that you're going to be sitting more so is Danilo or Gatti.
It's still sitting out alone. It doesn't say if there's an
So
obligation
David
for
says it was an obligation if he makes a certain amount of appearances. So
Okay.
I'm just saying loan to give the benefit of the doubt, right? Like obviously I would assume that he gets sold, but he's technically on loan.
He has 17 appearances right now, so
I disagree with 6 being just enough. Like I don't know. I just disagree with it.
if you do
5,
like
I think 5 is ideal. 4, you're cutting it close.
okay, is it 3 at the back, 4 at the back, right? So if it's 4 at the back, having 6 is a little much. But if it's 3 at the back, I would 7 is probably like you want a full rotation and then +1, I guess. It depends how deep you want to go. Like we have Champions League, all that stuff, so we probably want to be fairly deep.
So, because the reason why I'm saying it, and I understand that we're playing 3 competitions next season, but how many of those defenders that we have currently right now are okay with that besides Rugani?
Yeah, and that is always a thing.
Like,
The
how
young
many of
guys,
those-
maybe.
Maybe Dean will be okay with, rotating in and out and stuff, but like, you think Jallo's going to be okay with that? Especially Gatti, if he's been starting for the past 2 season and a half. Like, I'm taking it from the psychological aspect that some of these players are like, no, shit, I ain't sitting that many games. Because, like, for example, right now, you do not bench like Bremer. The only time Bremer is not playing is if Bremer is injured or suspended. Like, he is there. And
Okay,
then
we
you
get
can make the
Mata.
same-
We get
and then you-
Mata, and Gatti plays the defensive midfielder role. There you go. That's how it happens.
So, Because let me pull up Juve in 16-17, so our Champions League roster, and see how many center backs we're running then. Because I think it was 5. Like I believe it was 5. So we'll throw it on here. And I'm not a big fan of using Wikipedia, but fuck it, just for the sake of the argument. All right, so defenders. So you had Chiellini, Benatia, Alexandro, Barzagli, Chiellini, Dani Alves, Danilo Rugani, Lichtsteiner. So Lichtsteiner's a. Let's look at just center backs, and we ran a back 4. So we had 1 center back, 2 center backs, 3, 4, 5. So about 5, and more so depending on if we switch to that 3, because they were hybriding between the back 3 at the time. So they had 5 center backs, which is just about enough. I think 5 is probably ideal, and this was that team. And then if I look at the previous season here, so let's do 15/16 here. Center backs. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is when we did a 3-5-2. So they ran 5. So they had Rugani, Bonucci, Barzagli, Caceres.
How
Chiellini.
injured were those people? Is
Rarely.
another question, right? Like, it seems, and I think it's just because of the congested schedule now. There's players are getting injured more. In general, you do need a little bit more depth these days because you're playing that many more games.
So like the season that we had the center back crisis, I think it was 18-19. So it was Ronaldo's first season here. I know we were actually thin as far as that. So yeah, we had Chiellini, we had Caceres.
Yeah, we brought him in. Yeah,
we brought him in. Barzagli was on his last legs. Bonucci, Chiellini.
I barely played that year. Barzagli, he was injured, I think, too.
Rugani, and then this guy never. I don't remember seeing him. Youth sector, yeah.
Yeah, he never.
So we only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Chiellini was out for most of the season, so it was Bonucci and sometimes Barzagli or Rugani.
Yeah, wasn't it Rugani a lot? Because I think Barzagli didn't play that much that year. I wonder if it.
No, it was his final
appearances.
season.
It says there
yeah.
actually. Oh, that's total.
Total, not season.
Shit.
Yeah. So, because I remember this wasn't that season, but I remember they used Matuidi as a left back at one point because they just didn't have anything. Yeah, I'm used to seeing them run with 5 center backs, and this is when you're running this all-star lineup. And I forever blame Bonucci for us losing Benatia because I thought Benatia was awesome. There was that one German defender that they signed as a center back. I guess he's not on here. No,
Which one?
I thought they brought in a German defender. I think maybe it was this year or the previous. It was 18-19.
Maybe it was the previous. Yeah, because
It was
Caceres was
17,
the one that they
yeah.
brought in for that.
17-18. Because I remember they brought in that one German defender, that older one. Yeah. Benedict.
Oh, Hovedez.
There
Yeah,
we go.
man.
So this year, and that was the year that we got robbed. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, Juve's always ran 5.
Yeah, these guys had it.
But this was, again, the 4-3-3. They were running a back 4 at this time. I just like my main concern is that I think we might have a little bit too many center backs that we can deal with, and we got to figure out the best ones. And obviously, I think the main question is, what are we doing? Are we a back 4 or are we still a back 3 next year? I think that's the biggest question that needs to get answered.
I don't know if they're playing that card quite yet either, though.
If they're at a back 4, we are screwed because we have to offload those guys. And the problem is teams will know that you have to offload them, so they will nickel and dime you for it. They
What
won't.
if we do some like crazy 3-4-2-1?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's just thrown out there, but that is a possibility as well. Because of how many center backs we have, maybe we try some weird hybrid things. We have so many.
The composition of people that we have currently kind of makes this like it's a complex issue because you'll either have too many defenders if you switch to a back 4, or if you stay to a 3-5-2, you'll have too many wingers. Right?
And that's kind of going to Vlad, right? Like you can transition, but you have to have all the right profiles in place, and we're still trying to get a profile set in place completely.
So Like, for example, this season,
Yeah.
we have Sule, we have Kyle George, we have Hoyson, you've got Keane, you have Illing, Yildiz, Milik, Dusan, Chiesa. So all of these guys can play in a 4-3-3. Not so well in a 3-5-2. So, like, for example, if you play a 4-3-3, you're gonna have Chiesa, you're gonna have Sule, you're gonna have Yildiz, you're gonna have Illing, you're gonna have Weah. But the problem is, then we start looking at the back line, and we have this guy who's supposed to be back soon, by the way. DeCilio's supposed to be coming back,
Allegedly.
which guy, he might be the guy that finally takes Kostic off from starting. Who knows? But you'll have all of these guys with other players returning as well. So I think maybe, I don't know. I just, the squad composition is a little bit weird for me. Like, it is. Like, it's extremely bulky.
There'll be some thinning.
Yeah, there'll be some thinning, but it's got to be some tactical thinning, right? It depends. And LJJ says, crazy how most of the names you said were playing at Next Gen last year. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Juve have one of the youngest squads in Serie A right now. For
And
a top
that's-
team, it's one of the youngest.
And that's why Next Gen is doing like trash this year because they
Yeah.
lost everyone.
Beppe quoted this because I don't want to not give him credit for it. So Beppe talked about this in one of his videos. I think it was the balance video. Allegri in his first stint, Juve had, I believe, they had 38 players that went through Juventus during Allegri's first stint. 30 of them were above the age of 30. 30 of them. Or now it's like, I believe he said 5 or 6 are above the age of 30.
And
Players-
DeCilio's contract expires in 25. I do believe he signed an extension, if I'm not mistaken.
Just gives his date. Yeah, his contract ends in 25 here. So it has not been renewed yet.
Yeah, he did have an wasn't there like a +1 or +2? Like he recently
know.
re-upped it, which brought him into 25.
Yeah, I no clue.
I'm just gonna be like all those guys on Twitter and just say that's the truth without verifying it.
Yeah, I think once the Champions League money comes in, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be done. There's a lot of things, question marks per se, because like it's almost like a very, very like hourglass. Like Juve have an hourglass physique, or top heavy, the middle thin, the bottom is heavy.
The mill's not even that thin though. If you look at the loans,
Well, I mean, yeah,
it's not that bad.
because like if we look at it, what we're currently, because it's listing Pogba and Fajoli here, and they're officially scratched. They're healthy scratches
Yeah, but Fajoli's coming back for sure. I mean,
in May.
Pogba, but sure, but we're looking to the future.
No, I get that. But yeah, it's going to be, and like, for example, you have to figure out what to do with Nonger. You have to figure out what to do with Nicolucci.
Yeah, so I'm saying there's a it's not really hourglass. It's just we're just fat.
In the summer, yeah, right?
We're fat.
in the summer. We're fat. Timmy Weah, Nicola Fajoli, Meretti, Weston McKennie, Kostic, Pogba, and also Baranachea is not on here as well either.
But yes, if you want to take the current form, we might be a little bit skinny. But Carlos, I mean, it's a bit of a reinforcement.
Yeah, we're gonna have a very, very interesting summer per se because of it. Because yeah, so we have Baranachea that's out. I don't think Barbari's ever coming back, anyways.
Yeah, there's another one that I don't know, make a couple million.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, option to buy for 2 million. There you go.
But other acquisitions: Milik, Locatelli, Perotti. Wow, we signed a lot of freaking players.
Yeah, a lot of
The radar.
lower profiles, right? But that's also going to be a bit of a Giuntoli thing as well.
Yeah. Ragosin went. That's a departure. Kulusevski. Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be a very, and also this too. If this becomes an obligation for our tour, because you're going to get 20 million from our tour, you're also going to get 20 million for Big Zach over there at Monaco. So that's technically 40 mil that you'll get back this summer as well, on top of the Champions League money.
Yeah, and, I mean, good point there. Arthur has been doing fairly decent for Fiorentina.
Wow.
There might be a buyer.
Coney De Winter on loan until June with an obligation to buy for 10, so that's 50. So if our tour goes, if Big Zach goes, if Coney goes, that's 50 mil right there.
10 mil. Do you think he's worth
Luca-
10 mil? I wonder if they'll
Luca
pay that.
Pellegrini is next year. Same thing with Rovella. So both of these guys will give you 20 million the following year. And think about it, 20 million for Pellegrini and Rovella right now is actually a steal. Zach was sold and we already cashed in, he says.
Yeah, I thought that one was done.
Thought it says variables for future sale.
Oh, that means there's a sell on. Yeah, there's
Oh,
a
yeah,
sell
yeah,
on.
yeah. So there's a sell on there. So we're I think we're good financially next summer. I think we're gonna have some fun here. Redeem after loan. Yeah, look, on loan for Ranocchia as well here. June 20.
Yeah, another one. I know there's so many that it's hard to keep them all in your head at once.
Yeah,
It's nuts.
there's gonna be some movement for sure. But let's move on to some shenanigans or shithousery. So this from Mathis Pog says Paul Pogba is coming back, and that's
We've
it.
been kind of speculating this though for a little bit. Now,
Your family that too. Hold on, before we go into Pogba, let's talk about this.
oh, I
yeah,
see. Okay.
no, I know. I'm saying in 2025. We'll
No,
get
I
it.
was just reading that comment. I was like,
Oh.
I didn't get it at first, but yeah, it was. I thought he was like making fun of him. but
Oh,
he
JJ
wasn't.
says, I think in summer Juve will cash in on Bremer if they get anything north of 80. I would assume.
I don't know. I don't know if they would.
I thought didn't I say 2025? I thought I said we don't get money from 2025. I was counting Zach, Artur, and Ranocchia, or Coney de Winter.
Yeah,
for 50.
that's for Rovella, right?
Yeah, I was
25.
saying you get 20 mil for Ravella and Pellegrini in 2025.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, so yeah, so apparently the comments, see if the comments find it any skepticism here, but in a while, Serie A will no longer sleep soundly. I don't know. If he gets
Oh,
this
because the
right,
previous comment said go to sleep.
yeah, if he gets this right, this will be one of the most biggest drops ever.
I don't
Question it.
think it's that crazy though,
I don't either.
because why would he come out in what was it, December saying, oh, "Yeah, I got this"? Like February, we got the court. Do we remember when that date is?
You can Google it.
It's soon. Pogba was a court case. What do we even?
Doping case. I think that's what you would just call it. Pogba doping case.
Yeah, Pogba doping case. I don't know. Talk as I look this up because I might be a little bit. I'm trying to find out.
All right. So while you work on that, I'm gonna switch over. I'm gonna switch gears here because Toni Kroos's agent has initiated discussions regarding a move to Juventus. Preliminary negotiations have taken place between Kroos and representative in the Bianconeri regarding a potential free transfer to Juve at the end of the season. Vlad says February 15th.
Is that it? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. So that's
So,
that's a week away.
I do not see this. I see him retiring at Real Madrid. There's no shot.
Yeah. I don't. Look who it's from.
Oh man, yeah, that just that's definitely a and pretty much this website every time Dave sees them.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
It's pretty much every time Dave sees that handle, it's just he just boom, just
Yeah!
it's like hey Dave, what do you think of Juve FC?
Doesn't matter what you think!
I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just
That's my opinion on UAFC in the words of the World Wildlife Federation.
It's like pretty much when anyone ever. This is perfect when someone mentions that article or that page to Dave. Dave just throws out his hat and just absolutely goes for it. I love it.
People knows what's up. You gotta smash them like buttons and things, especially when Bass is playing with the soundboard and probably pissing a couple of you off. I don't know. That last one was kind of loud.
That does it. Screw you guys. I'm going.
I don't know what that is. I think it's part of the bit. It's, "Yeah, you guys, I'm going do do do." Like that. That's just weird.
Weird.
Very
All
weird.
right. Fetch your sources.
This will make or break Mathis' career. He is aiming high. Yes, he is. I just hope he doesn't pull a Fabio Donnavala.
That'd be crazy.
Dave says 100 euro donation to the YouTube channel if you don't.
That's a lot in Canadian dollars. That'd be pretty.
I will be more than happy to do it if it ever happens.
Let those Canadian dollars roll through. It's like 1.7.
Let them. Why don't you let those Mountie bucks come on through? We'll stop over at the Tim Hortons, get ourselves a French vanilla and a Boston cream pie donut. That's some good
cream
one there.
pie. It's not a cream pie. It's just Boston cream.
Yeah, Boston cream donut. I said cream pie.
Could I have the Boston cream pie, please?
Can
They
I
do
get-
it real special in Boston.
I'm getting out the car. Hey, honey, you want a Boston cream pie? You want it? What?
Oh, you got. What did you guys make a bet over? Like, yeah, it was Deutsche
Bet me
Dave.
100 on something. I forgot what. Damn. Bones says we'll give you a cream pie.
Yeah, I know you would.
I know you would, Bones.
You're that kind of guy. We appreciate that about
We do.
you, though.
David says 100 euros if Milik scores a hat trick again after the Frosinone game.
That's what it was.
That's what the bet was.
Oh man, awesome.
Well, they play Frosinone not this week. I believe the week after. So they,
Oh, we're getting an offer to Wisconsin cream pie. That one is probably extra cheesy.
LJJ says, "Is it from Boston? The donut or
Most
the
thi-
cream pie?"
Doesn't matter as long as you believe it.
Boston cream, I would assume so, even though Boston cream is essentially Bavarian cream. Like, it's pretty much the same thing. You know what? We'll end this show on donut talk. Let's have some fun here.
So get ready your screen. We are doing the live Google search.
Oh, shit. There we go. Go. You're free.
Okay. Live Google search.
Enzo reminds his talent showing Chelsea win.
I don't know what I was looking at. I probably clicked on something. What is Boston cream?
Feels like it's just Bavarian cream.
We
we have a
we're
German-
doing the Wikipedia.
We have a German here too, so like German Dave can confirm it. Like I don't know how well versed he is in Bavaria, but
According to this, it's said to have been created in 1856 by Armenian
1856?
French. I know I said that.
Created-
1856 by Armenian French chef Mosberg Sanzin at the Parker House Hotel in Boston.
take a deep breath. You okay? Relax.
A direct descendant of earlier cakes known as American pudding
See,
cake
look,
pie.
there's
and
a
Washington pie.
Boston cream pie. It's actually real.
Yeah, but you said the donut. You can't have a Boston cream pie donut.
It's the same thing. They have a donut version of the cake.
It's just the filling. Yeah, it's got the chocolate with the filling, but it's not a pie. It's a donut. It's like, could I have a chocolate pie cake? It doesn't work. You can't do that.
Isn't a pie cake like a double? It's like essentially a double negative. It's like you don't not say it.
So is a pie donut. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Boston cream donut.
Oh man, Hefe has used the Boston cream pie as a pickup line, though it actually worked. Boston chicks are freaking crazy. Of course, you have a story about that.
Jeff, he's a real estate agent, a connoisseur, a lady connoisseur, a pickup artist, all of the above. Jeff is the kind of guy you hide from your daughter.
Is that what that last thing was about, Enzo Fernandez?
Yeah, I think that. Oh, Italian. Oh,
No,
wait.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, it scrolled down. That's why.
Wait, if you scroll up,
But up here.
Julien Laurent is talking.
This good.
Italian Sikh 4-year ban. Oh, that's old. That's
Yeah, no. That's I was looking up the date. That's why I was on that page. It makes sense now. And then we moved into the Boston cream pie.
that's why.
It looks. I'm so hungry. And man, this time slot is killing me because I'm just always so hungry.
I know. Bones is saying, search what the difference between Boston and Bavarian cream are. Should be pretty similar.
Bavarian cream involves milk, egg, sugar, and often vanilla extract, the same as Boston cream, but the two ingredient lists diverge. Bavarian cream includes heavy cream and gelatin, while Boston cream involves cornstarch, which makes sense because corn is most popular in the United States.
Yes, we are fat fuckers. J-Car says Boston cream pie with safe search off. If you search it with safe search off, it's just going to be a picture of car, guys.
Do you think I am a grown ass man? Do you think safe search is ever the fuck on? Like, maybe it should while I'm on the internet. But what
We should
guys,
when we're
I
on
told
stream.
you. I mean, whatever. We should. But
Oh, you know we love you, car.
yeah.
It's just if you look it up, it's just a picture of car like butt naked. No.
Yeah. Where is
See, he has it off. It's
anymore?
on. Equip art. No, I
Yeah,
think
was
it's.
there even
yeah.
an option for it anymore?
I don't think so, but yeah, there you
over
go.
here.
Boom. That's the image.
Oh,
See?
it just blurs it. Okay, whatever.
There you go. It's off.
Oh, it's off. There's. Oh,
Done.
look, it's a beater with cream on it.
There it is. Boom. Done.
Oh man. Oh my lord. This is ridiculous. Oh, there's Bavarian cream. Oh, that's like what's the Italian thing? Pane. Oh. Why can't I fucking think of it? I've even made the shit before, but it's
Oliver
like
pastry.
gelatin and cream, and yeah, you make it in that mold in a
David says
ramekin.
All of our pastry stuff is either filled with jelly or a custard type of cream, and then
Yeah, oh my
car
God.
giving you kisses and winks.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, okay. Somebody's got to fill me in. What is panna cotta? That's what it is. It means cooked bread, and it doesn't have bread. It's milk. So it's weird, but panna cotta. It looks up like that. Cannoli. No, I mean that's my favorite cannoli. Jesus, I would never forget that. Well, so I'm searching up German shit now. All right, I almost did it in the streaming box, which would have killed my stream. That would be real smart. Oh, sorry. Okay.
I was gonna say, this might piss people off, but I'm not a big fan of tres leches cake.
Whose?
Tres leches, like milk cake. You've
Oh,
never,
is that
you
a
never,
Spanish thing?
yeah, you've never heard of tres leches?
No.
Yeah, it's like a milk cake. It's like super wet.
Oh yes, these.
Oh,
Yes, these Italians have it. I mean, of
you know
course,
what the
there's several
Americans call
versions.
those? They call those poochkis because we're uncultured as hell. They have those in poochki boxes for Poochki Day.
What's
That's
Poochki?
how uncultured Americans are. That's so funny.
The panettone. No, I wouldn't. Panettone. Why does panettone come up every time?
Really, you have
No,
a fixation with panettone.
that was a Christmas thing, man. Once a year.
How dare you?
Or Spritzkuchen?
Yeah, throw in tres leches. I'm telling you. I'm surprised you don't know what tres leches is.
Okay, hold on. I'm on.
Spritzkuchen.
Spritzkuchen. Yes.
Oh, they have donuts. They have those at Tim Hortons.
Yes. They look
Heights
like
Purple Cream.
churros almost.
Yeah, it's German churros.
Oh, you're talking about the honey cruller. Yeah, that does look like a honey cruller, actually. Yeah, German crullers. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Tres leches, Dave.
Like tres, like
Like
three?
tres, like TRES, and then
It's there.
there you go. The first one, boom, tres leches,
Have I
soaked
had
in
that?
sweet milk. I don't know why I can't get behind it.
I don't know if I've had it. Maybe I had something similar, but no, I don't know.
Yeah,
Man, I'm so
I've just
fucking hungry. What are you doing to me?
I had someone get me a cake for my birthday. It was tres leches, and I was just like, oh, you don't like me, do you?
Nobody likes you. I thought.
No, clearly nobody. Why are people watching this now?
Go to the images on which one?
Grafina.
Am I just? Oh,
I think it was-
I'm not in images search. I think that's what he's saying. Yeah, and I'm like
Yeah.
zoomed out like a dummy. Oh God. I am
Dash
such
likes
a
his
cocky-
Dash likes his cake dry. I do. I don't like wet cake. It just throws me off so bad. Because like
Yeah.
I'm not too crazy on sweets, and like a sweet milk on top of
Oh,
a
I love
already sweet cake,
Love
it just absolutely kills me. LJJ says, if you like sweets, try Lady M. I don't know if you have it in Canada.
Never heard. Introducing Lady M Canada. I have no idea.
Vlad
Let's
says I
visit
love
this site.
G's cake.
I bet you do.
It's all about the G's.
This is is it layers? Oh, $125 American. Jesus Christ. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, you can't see. You can't see. I gotta change my this is nuts.
It's the wrong tab. Wrong tab. Wrong tab.
Look at this.
Wow.
That better be a fucking good cake. Order so I can get it in Canada? Pumpkin brulee? Oh, that actually sounds pretty decent.
That does look really decent too. Kind of want to go buy some cake.
Oh, a bit of every... Yeah. Can I get it? Yeah, Canada. So why you give me an American monies? I can. That'd be like 100... What is that?
Jeff says, Dave and Dash, you'd be surprised. how much
$177.
You'd be surprised at how much people hate watch content creators for no apparent reason. I could just imagine the fucking Dave and Dash, those annoying ass guys in their fucking cake segments. Sick and tired of it.
Beanish stick? I'm probably butchering the shit out of this.
Bienesteig. It's Bienesteig.
Beanish. Yes, yes, of course.
German beasting cake.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Albanians, all we got is baklava. That's pretty much it.
I like my cake sloppy, wet, and juicy. Actually, I love my baklava like that, when it's just like dripping with honey. And it just gets all over your beer. You're like, oh, I don't care. And there's just like phyllo pastry all over the place, sticking to the honey. That's what I like. Layers. See, guys, it's always about layers. Butcher that spelling. Is there a Canadian we can find out?
No.
Yes!
Oh, there is. I was like sitting there panicking for a minute. I was like, no.
Oh, man. Canadian flapper pie. Okay, interesting.
Flapper pie?
Yeah, from the 20s, flappers.
I'm gonna get you some flappers. Holy shit! Hey,
We do have moose. We do have moose milk, actually. Make sure I put recipe in. I've never looked this up before. Let's see what we get.
Vlad says, imagine seeing that tinfoil hat guy that got mad at us join in, and we're looking at cakes.
Yeah, milk, ice cream, vanilla, Kahlua, brandy, dark rum, and ice. Yeah, you have it at Christmas time. Oh, I guess there's a picture of just everything you have. You just get real drunk and real lactose intolerant. It's real good. Real fun at a party. Search for Mushabak. Mushabak? Which window am I on now? Jesus. Mushabak. Okay. Is that looks like sausage in that one. No, that's cinnamon. Okay. So similar to like a churro, fried extruded dough. Wait, Frankie's trying to milk me. Princess, oh boy, okay. Princess Croft.
Oh, those I know those.
Oh, yeah, those are pretty like.
Yeah.
What do you call them? Cream puffs.
Cream puff.
Profiterole.
Princess donuts.
Or for that.
German
sure.
Dave says I was a second away from a heart attack with the Canadian cream puff. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, oh my god.
It's nothing but Celine Dion and her husband, 20 years older than her. I know what the blue waffle is, JC. Fuck. Not getting that one past me. I do that on other people. All right. Buñuelos?
I would have.
Boon?
That actually ended up being bad. Boom. Rip to the YouTube. It's like bites. They're like bites.
Like Timbits.
Yeah.
That's a super Canadian thing. That could have been a quick end to the D&D show. We would have had to cut it out. like take the show down, cut it out for the record, and plead ignorance to the Google gods.
I don't know what it was, Google. I don't know. It was just there. It was blue, and it just popped up in front of me.
Okay, next search here.
Sorry, blue floppers.
Herm message. What am I looking at? Syrup
It's
drenched
biscuits.
pastries.
They're like
that
biscuits.
have-
They're like biscuits.
Oh,
It's
and
biscuits
the
with like
syrup-
a sugar drizzle.
Yeah, no, I do like that. But if I wouldn't say just like a normal ass syrup, it'd have to be a honey or maple syrup, of course, or like mix in a bit of rose water, which I know they do with baklava.
Speaking of that, I need to make bolognese sauce. I need to do that shortly.
I need to have my leftover osso
Yeah,
buco.
we've gotten
my
to like a
God.
20-minute food segment. I'm like, oh, shit, I actually have to cook
Every
dinner.
time I get
Every
so
time.
hungry doing this.
I know. We gotta stop doing YouTube. We're just gonna gain a shit ton of weight talking about food. I say we end it here before we just go on down the rabbit's hole looking for foods. So obviously, we do not just talk about Juve. We talk about food too, people. So we're very diverse in content creation. Obviously, again, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll hit the music, Dave. So we'll sign on out of here because we had some fun here. We hit an hour 30.
One more. When
God damn
butyl.
it.
When butyl. Hold on.
Did you find it?
It looks exactly like every other thing. It's a
Yeah.
pastry with cream inside of it. All right, let's. It's all
Interesting.
delicious.
So you're saying it's J Car?
Yeah.
It's a pastry with cream inside, just like car.
Got it. Love it.
Alrighty, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this week's Tinfoil Hat Show. Obviously, if you want to submit more articles for us next week, join the Discord, submit it in the Tinfoil Hat window, and we'll react to your articles live on stream. And then we will catch you towards the weekend because it is a Monday game. So this will be the last time you see us until the call-in show on Saturday, and we'll probably squeeze out a little bit of a pregame there as well.
Yeah,
just keep our
because you
voice
guys
going.
are tuning. You're all Americans, most of you. You're not tuning in on Sunday. I get it.
Exactly. We're busy getting drunk and eating burgers. But anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in again. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, tell your cats and dogs that we talk about donuts while we also talk about Juve as well. And we shall catch you in on the next one.
Oh, baby, can't wait. Thanks for listening in for yet another Tinfoil Hat Show. See you guys later.
Mahomes!